Hey guys, welcome to Stagecraft. I know it's been a while since we've seen each other. I'd like to remind you that we will be having class on Monday, so we'll start our blue and red schedule again. On Monday, we will be starting to work on lighting. Unfortunately, we didn't get to finish some of our other projects, but I think you all got a hang of it for those people that were there. But we need to start doing some stuff for an actual show that we have coming up. So we'll be cleaning the stage up, and we'll be starting to hang and focusing lights, and we'll start talking about lighting today. So what you see in front of you is the book. I'm just going to go over a little bit of it, what's important, what I find important within the book itself. I'm going to show you a couple videos to prepare you, because otherwise I would have you on stage already and you would actually have the lighting instruments in your hand. And we're going to still try to do that in class, but this will give you a heads up on what it is that you need to know about them. So it's not like, what is this thing that I have in my hand? Anyway, so what you see in front of you is the chapter Photometrics. There's a couple of key things just on this first page. It talks about the method of lighting the stage by Stanley McCandless. He's a very important figure in modern lighting theory today. I have this book. It's a little bitty book, but what he has created is the idea of the 45-degree lighting. So the way that works is that he says that you need to have cool light, which is a lighter color like a blue, coming from 45-degree angles at one point, and a warm, which is like an amber, coming from the other 45-degree angle, which would create more of a sunlight realistic look. But it's at 45 degrees, so it would actually cover your face and not give you some weird shadows. So it should be 45 that way, 45 that way, where it's hitting each area. So if you look in this picture right here, you have this idea of area lighting, and that's what Stanley McCandless is known for in lighting the stage. A lot of people today don't necessarily follow Stanley McCandless's idea, but it was because of this book that created what we are actually teaching and what we've done in the past. It's just a rule of thumb. It's not a hard given fact. And it also states in here, and this is very true, lights today are still called instruments, but the term is a fixture. So if you say I usually say lighting instruments, but a lot of people say lighting fixtures. So both of them are actually correct. So it goes into the components, and everybody here should be familiar with a component. You have your light source, which we call a lamp. In the theater world, we don't call them light bulbs. We call them lamps, because a light bulb is maybe 100 watts. A lamp, 1,000, 1,500 watts. It's, I guess, the difference between a bulb and a lamp. You know what I mean? Then you have your reflector, which sends it forward. It focuses the light. And then you have the lens that intensifies it. And so those are the three main things that you should be familiar with when it comes to a lighting instrument. And when we talk about lamps, there are many different types of lamps, but most of them have a filament in them. And this is the standard lamp. This is not what we consider to be the LEDs of modern. This is a basic electric lamp. So ideally, you have your bulb, and you have a filament inside of it, and you have a gas inside of that bulb. And once the electricity goes through it and it heats up the filament, it reacts to the gas, and then it creates this light. Now, there is a lot of people like to throw lamps or light bulbs and hear them pop because of the actual gas that's inside of them. But the one thing that you should know is that you should never, ever touch a lamp with your fingers. If you do, then you have to wipe it off. Okay, you have to get like an alcohol swab or whatnot and wipe your oils off, because every single one of us has like an oil on our skin, right? We're like snails. We leave our fingerprints everywhere, and that's our residue, our oils that are staying behind. That oil gets on that lamp, and whenever that lamp heats up to the temperatures that it goes to, that oil starts to bubble and starts to eat away at the glass, and it can make the bulb pop. The glass can explode, because what ends up happening is the oil eats away at the glass, and you have these little pinholes, and the gas is trying, just like a balloon, the gas tries to escape through that pinhole and it explodes. 9 times out of 10 it won't, but it does let the gas escape, and so therefore your $30 to $100 lamp is no longer valid. So you want to be very careful not to touch lamps with your fingers. And I'm sure you've heard of that before as well. Now this goes into specifics. I'll let you read that on your own. Now the basics of a lamp itself, there's a base, which is usually made of a porcelain, and it connects into a socket. And the sockets are a little bit different. You have your Fresnels, which usually they're flat on the bottom, the base of the lamp. You kind of push it in and you turn it, and you'll see that when we get in class. The ellipsoidals, they have pins, and I'll go to the next page and I'll show you this. They have these 2 pins, and you have 2 wires, and you unlatch the wires, and it'll show you this in the video too as well. You unlatch the wires, you pull out the lamp, whereas the Fresnel that has a base, it's spring loaded, so you push in and turn it. With that, you have 2 wires, and you just unhook the wires and it comes out, and you'll see that. Right here you have a double-ended. Those are usually for cyclorama lights or floodlights as well. And what that is that the electricity goes through one end and out the other to heat up the filament that's on the inside. And then of course we have a bunch of different reflectors. There's parabolic, ellipsoidal, and spherical. Make sure you read over this, because each lighting instrument has a unique reflector to it. A ERS light actually has the name of the reflector in it. So it's an ellipsoidal reflector spotlight. And if you look here, you have a spherical reflector, which is usually Fresnel's. You have your parabolic, which are your PARs. It has it on here. And then you have your ellipsoidal, which has this elongated, and the lamp actually goes inside of that to where all the lights just kind of bounce around and shoot forward through the lenses of the light. Let you read over this stuff. Oh, here we go. This right here is a spherical, which is what you would see for a Fresnel. A Fresnel is kind of like you have a candle, you have a mirror behind it, which is this reflector, and then you have a Fresnel lens. And that lens is what really makes a Fresnel, because otherwise it's like a candle and a mirror. But then you put the Fresnel lens in front of it, and it does something amazing.